Hello, the game has started and it's me to go first. I have a pretty balanced rack. The V not ideal, but I can probably... Well, the V actually isn't bad combined with EST, so I might actually go with... I might go with covert, actually. Yeah, I don't mind that rack leave. That's a rack. There'll be 100 bingos at least. Well, not literally, but there'll be loads of bingos. Now, I've got tea pots. No, that's not a bingo. I thought it was an 8. Potatoes doesn't quite get down to the trip. I suppose the 4-timer is where I should be looking. Apostate through the T. That's also not going to reach. Okay, the trip lane's pretty much out of contention. Now, column E for a 4-timer. I have Teopans. What about the C? Definitely will be a bingo through the C. But the O is where I'm looking. Potatoes doesn't quite reach. Potatoes creates a Z and a X hotspot. 68. What about through the C? Neoplast, but what about ATE ending words? Capstone. For 74. Probably could have played something a bit safer, but yeah, didn't want to waste more time. Now I have a H for playing under FE. I have Heyo there, for example. 27, not bad. Gets rid of 2 of the vowels. Opponent likely to play in row 15, but might not. I have Chow as well, CHAO. What about Heyo? That's 25. $27. Yeah, I don't mind this play. 27. There's some synergy with the U and the N, so that's not bad. And then AC. Yeah, not a terrible set of 4, I wouldn't say. Okay, opponent's gone with the rhymer. Now, what about playing through the N with my H. Not seeing anything there. I don't have an E for ahem. That would have been nice. And ham. No, I think what it does. Yeah. I think I will go with heyo, just to balance the rack. Not a bad pickup. Pretty close to a bingo, I'd say, this rack, if there isn't one. Not quite sundial. Calinus, no. The floaters to consider would be the S and the T and the O. Just the S and the T now, and I'd have to begin with a T. I have the IC ending words. Like to get rid of CU. Could play cup, which takes a S front hook. I have an S. Is that gifting my opponent a play in the trip lane? He might have one of the two remaining S's. Let's find out. It's a good rack leave as well. Wow. Aslon, zonal, but is there a 7? Zols. What about Aslons? Now opponent's play of E hasn't helped my cause. Very close to a bingo, I'd say. I'm going with Aslons. 53. Okay, vowel heavy. Can play a few vowels alongside Aslon. Not anymore. I can play them potentially alongside Vogie, but I'm just trying to see what it would look like. Koala would have been fantastic if there was another A on my rack. .32's not bad. Now the K also plays alongside ZE, so ilk doesn't quite reach the double word square. Even oink, if I had the N. Wow, that would have been a nice score. Coal, I don't think coal is good, no. Kilo is good, but Zeo is no good. Alright, I'm going to go with Koa for 32. Not a bad pickup. Pileated through an A. Not sure if there's a 7 here. Yad, opponent scores well, 31. I thought there might be a comeback score alongside my word. What about the OE only takes an S, so I can't go very far across from this S. Pune, P-U, punnet, no. Trying to get some value from this double word square with my P. Not seeing much there. Peter is good. Nothing above the B. E takes an L. Is there definitely no bingo here? Pled. 18 vowels, 29 consonants. Wow, not many vowels to come, so I'm happy to keep a vowel heavy rack. And I'll draw more vowels. Have a look at that, 16 to 27. It's quite an imbalance. Don't think there's a 7 here. Enuritic, maybe, onto a C. No C available. Retinuto, no, that's not going to work. Enuritic, okay. Got to get rid of a U and an I, at least. I could play Sui, giving an easy Q spot. Perfect rack leave. Any other spot for a U and an I? Dewey, I think, is better. Look at that rack leave. Perfect. Inter. I'm going with this, even though it's only 8 points. Wow. Tranny and N-train. Tranny plays alongside the P and alongside the F, so opponent scores 33. Tranny and N-train doesn't work, but Tranny does. For 79. I draw the Q, and I have an I. Opponent plays Mo. Now I can play QI here. What other options? Is there a D to play K'd onto? Nope. Can't pop my Q here. What do I play QI here to make it harder for opponent to bingo onto next to the P? That's 25. Decent rack leave. And D lane I have on the rack, but I've just blocked the bingo spot for D lane. That's a shame. Date line, D lane. Now I-N-E, no, it doesn't work. What's the anagram of D lane? Now there's a... No, the S isn't a floater. The Y is a floater. What are the front hooks for Yad? Dyad? No. Opponent just plays a T. Now I've got an R to play onto, as well as a TA. Fib only takes an S. Pled. Nope. D lane, no spot for that, unfortunately. I don't think it's dyad. I think it's... Oh, it is dyad, yeah. I thought it sounded familiar, but... So that comes down, and look at what I'm rewarded with. Barring. Barring and Bargia, maybe? Barring. Any place for barring? No. ING. Pinfair, no good, otherwise barring would have fitted. What about words ending in R? I've already got 2 on the rack, so that's unlikely to yield a bingo. What about herb? That's pretty good. Gary. Ariage. Ariage. Herb takes an S. Ariage. Gnarrier. Is that a thing? I'm low on time. I'm going to go over time anyway, but I don't mind about that. D lane. What about ending in an A? Grania through a floater. Gnarrier. No, I think it's gnarlier. Regainer. No. Okay, Nat and Jut. D lanes. Bingo ending in A. Arridge doesn't play. 7 tiles remaining. Wow, I better play something. Rages. And then IR. wonder if I missed a bingo in the end there. I've got Sir and Rit, so I'm definitely going out. And opponent plays Suwon. I'll go out with Sir. Thank my opponent for the game. 470 to 347. And let's see what we missed. Back to the beginning. Covered looks fine for 26, my opening rack. Then Microfy, wow, to make smaller perhaps. 34 for opponent, went with Fib. And Tea Shop, I was thinking teapots, but Tea Shop J4. Okay, that was from Tea Shop getting the P tripled. That's quite nice. I went with Capstone for 74. A rare 24. That's one way to get rid of duplicate I and duplicate R and a Y. Opponent went with a Rhymer and then Honan. That was quite nice as well. ACU as the rack leave. Then we've got, I went with Heyo 27, decent score. Yui for 26, opponent had, and Yum for 27, looks fine. There was a bingo, Cisluna. It's a word I have seen, but only vaguely familiar, so I wouldn't have spotted that. On to the R, massive 83, but Ankiels, I do know that word. That one I've actually played. Ankiels, and I think Ankinels with an N, possibly. Don't know why that's just jumped to mind. But Ankiels, yeah. Shame to have missed it. I looked at the rack and I thought, yeah, this set of 7 makes a bingo. I just couldn't think of what it was. But there it is. So cup was suboptimal, but I did set myself up for the following turn. Opponent goes with E, and then Aslon's best for 53. Vogie for 37. Opponent had. And now, Cola. Kola. Coca-Cola with a K. I should know that. Got to brush up on those 4s. Cola would have been perfect, so another suboptimal play there. And Yad for 31, Fad for 31. Opponent had a good score there. Diptel, that's not one you see every day. 44 points. That was 1D. Dyad Diptel. Big score. Went with Pled and Fid. Opponent went with Gad. And now I've got another missed bingo. Untidier. Everyday word. So ashamed to have missed that. Went with Dewey and Fixit. Filth's good score. Tranny then comes down for 79. That was best. Mo for 33 was best. Chi for 25 was best. And blocked the board. Blocked a bingo of my own. Opponent had Juntas for 40. With an X on the rack. Not bad. Juntas and Fibs. Went with Ton. Now I've got D-Lane for 91 and Dyad. Axe for 52 was big, but opponent's well behind at this stage. No chance of bridging the gap. No bingo here. Under time pressure, and I just thought I'd create an opening. Opponent did not have a bingo. I could see that the J was unplayed, so I didn't think there'd be a bingo playable. Junta, 24 goes with Jut for 23. And look at that, another missed bingo. Gerardia. Wow, what is that, a flower? A medical condition? I don't know. One of those strange words. Gerardia. 66 points on to the A. Well done if you spotted that. Gerardia. Perfect way to go out, but yeah, Rages and then Suan for 35 and Sir to go out. So that was the end of the game. Some misses there. Untidier I shouldn't really have missed, but some other nice words as well, which came up in the analysis. Hope you enjoyed watching that game, and I will see you next time.